The room was so vast I could not see the end. Thrones like bleachers at a stadium lined one side. Various people filled the thrones as far as the eye could see. I was in heaven, in the judgment room. I was so excited that I had made it, and that I was sitting on one of the thrones. I was making a real fuss, thinking I was so special and how wonderful I was. I noticed about 2 rows in front of me and slightly to the right was the back of Jesus sitting on his throne. He had longish hair and looked just like his picture. He slowly turned around to look at me. His stern eyes pierced my heart. I wanted to sink into my seat, but I had no place to go. Several others close to him also turned around and looked at me. They all heard my thoughts. I just wanted to die. I felt such shame. I didn't deserve to be here, I thought. I felt ashamed, and I thought that somehow I had qualified myself to be here. Jesus turned back and faced the front. A beautiful young blonde-haired woman stood at the lectern across from Jesus on the lower floor. She never lifted her head but stared only at the floor. Behind her was a line of people that seemingly went on forever. Everyone's countenance was one of dread. No one in that line lifted his or her heads. I could hear the woman's thoughts. She thought she could enjoy all the things of the world and do whatever she pleased and that she would be saved. She thought, in fact, that she could live with her feet in both kingdoms at the same time, God's and the world's. I heard her say to the Lord,
"Why didn't somebody warn me?"
I awoke at that point and I felt terrible. I was sick to my stomach. I felt so convicted. Everything in me wanted to warn every Christian I could find. I wanted to be away from the world's glitter and all the false glory. I didn't want to be swayed and follow the world's riches, but God alone. Dream 2. Jesus stood at a distance on the crest of what looked like a volcano. His piercing eyes stared me down. I saw the agony in his face as he said to me,
"Come up here."
Immediately I was standing next to him. I could see the entire volcano from here. A stream of people at least a half a mile wide and as long as the eye could see walked along the path leading into the destructive volcano. Angels with pitchforks lined both sides of the endless stream of people. They were preventing anyone from escaping and ushered the people over the crest and into the burning lake of fire. Steam rose from the flaming lake wrapped in smells of sulfur. Their blood-curdling cries sounded more like animals than human. It sent chills up and down my spine. Jesus didn't look at them, he only kept staring at me. I looked into his agonizing eyes. He said,
"Come here, I want you to feel what I feel when my people perish."
Suddenly I was right in front of him and he grabbed me. He put his arm around my neck like a wrestler and pulled me to his chest. An inrush of incredible grief filled my body, 1,000 times greater than any earthly grief I had ever known. My body fell limp as it hit the ground, and I began to vomit out my nose and mouth while sobbing with indescribable agony. Suddenly I was back in my room and fully awake. Jesus was still floating in my room, standing next to the volcano and the lake of fire burning behind him. I could hear the blood-curdling cries in the background. Jesus just stared at me. 2 purple curtains slowly closed the scene and then vanished.